Okay. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Monday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Hutco Roofing, hutcoroofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. And ProCharge EV, prochargeev.com. Super Bowl 57 matchup is set. It will be the Chiefs and the Eagles. I know a lot of people in these parts disappointed. Joey B and the boys didn't get it done. First game was just a complete snooze fest, man. 31-7. As soon as Brock Purdy got hurt, I don't even know that the Niners were going to be in the game much anyway. The Eagles got their offense going, but man, whenever Brock Purdy got hurt and the Niners' entire offense was running the football, they just couldn't throw the football. They were toast. So the Eagles win at home. Both the home teams win. And in the second game, obviously we were hoping the second game would deliver since the first game was such a snoozer, but and it did. Chiefs win on a walk-off field goal there. Well, I guess it wasn't a walk-off. There were a few seconds left, but 23-20 was the final, and 23-20 was the final. And of course, boy, the player for the Bengals, it looked as though we're headed to overtime. Cincinnati came up with the stop. Mahomes was limping around. He was running for the sideline, and the guy for the Bengals, 58, hits him out of bounds, 2 steps out of bounds. Golly. Gives him 15 yards, and Harrison Butker hits the game winner. So Chiefs-Eagles is the Super Bowl matchup. Osai is the guy who committed the penalty. I know there's a lot of people asking on Twitter who are not happy with me. All the just so much reaction after that game that was just like, hey, the refs cost Burrow the game. Refs stole it. It's fixed. And y'all are stupid. So I ruffled some feathers and said, look, the refs were awful. It was because as if you've listened to me for any length of time, you know my feeling on the matter. All refs are bad at their job. It's impossible to be good. We expect perfection, and it's not possible. And Twitter goes and will screen grabs frames in slow-mo of a missed call or this or that, wondering how people in real time with these giant humans running at elite speed across the field could possibly miss something that obvious. Because that's why I'm for robots. Give me robo-umps. Humans can't do the job adequately. When you have as many cameras and angles and HD and slow-mo as we have, you're going to have missed calls. But that's not why Cincinnati lost the game. Cincinnati didn't lose the game because of the refs. The refs took a touchdown off the board for Kansas City on a holding call in the first half. How about on the 3rd and 10, you have a quarterback with one leg who steps up in the pocket and throws a touchdown because you can't get off the field. Joe Burrow threw 2 interceptions. Could have been 4 interceptions. On the first possession of the game, Burrow threw one over the middle that went right through the safety's hands. And he had another interception that was negated by penalty. So, look, the extra 3rd down play was atrocious, obviously. The defensive holding on Eli Apple late in the game was obvious. And the late hit on the quarterback was obvious. And if you look at it objectively and flip the tables and say, okay, if that was my team, would I want that call? You're darn right you'd want that call. So, look, the refs are bad, man. They're always bad. But you can go through any game ever. Like somebody on Twitter said, after Burrow's second interception, the deep one. So, no, it just acted as a punt. You gave away a possession. How about get the first down, keep moving the sticks? Anyway. Again, there's a big difference between saying the refs didn't lose in the game and the refs did a good job. That's not what I'm saying. The refs did a poor job, but they always do. In over 60 minutes, there's enough plays where you can take matters into your own hands. The Bengals allowed 5 sacks, 12 tackles for loss. Burrow threw 2 picks. Kansas City had a touchdown taken off the board. You were playing a quarterback with one leg. The late hit out of bounds was obvious and 100% the right call. Like, what are you talking about? I think I figured out it's just there's so many people here who have never been NFL fans because they haven't always liked the Saints, and they've now become Bengals fans, so it's the first time they're emotionally invested. I'm not emotionally invested in the Bengals. I don't care about the Bengals. I like Joe Burrow. I hope he wins. I'll always pull for Joe Burrow. I love to see all the LSU guys do well. I'm not emotionally invested in the Bengals. Like, I'm not. That game ended. I was like, oh well, get him next year, Joe. Anyway. Okay. Let's see. Craig Dugat, Mulkey Mania running wild, brother. Yeah, man. LSU against Tennessee. Women's basketball tonight at the Maravich Center. See if they can sell that thing out. Charlie Gale, what's going on? Chad Briscoe. I'm convinced the reason Tony kept calling them the Bengals is he got confused because all he wanted to do was burst out in song and sing Eternal Flame by the Bengals to Old Mahomes. Eternal Flame, I kind of go more walk like an Egyptian with the Bengals. Did the Bengals do Manic Monday as well? Just another Manic Monday. Oh. Yep. Yeah, look at that, your boy. Vernell Thomas, good morning, Scone. So disappointed in Loomis by retaining DA and Pete Carmichael. You let people like LaFleur, Brian Leftwich pass right on by, and Eric Bieniemy pass by again. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, they're... Hang on one second. Oh, sorry. Here's my backpack. Sorry about that. Things been acting up. Sorry. All right, where are we? Let's see. All right, Trivia Carter, what's going on leg day? What's your workout today? Off day for me today, trivia. Tomorrow I'll be back at traction, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Matt Plavidal, I'm going to say it, rough suck. Larry Garner, Caleb, what's going on? Weather was awful yesterday on Amazon Sunday, but rather that than with mail delivery. So Matt, you're delivering for Amazon on the weekends as well? Let's see. Brady, morning, Matt. What a brutal way to lose for the Bengals. Yeah, man. I mean, you've gotten the stop. You're going to get off the field. Just don't hit Mahomes 2 steps out of bounds. Crazy. Just crazy. Just saw the video of the Bengals going to the locker room. One of the teammates was like dog cussing Osai. Was like, why the bleep you hit him out of bounds? I mean, can you imagine, like, stuff goes back to July. You report to training camp in July. You go through preseason games, an 18-week regular season, 17 games. You win 2 road playoff games. And man, and now you gotta, you won a home playoff game, then a road playoff game. And now you gotta go back on the road and play this, man, you're 1 win away from the Super Bowl and you're right there in the game, and one dude's boneheaded play hitting a guy out of bounds. Whew. Let's see, Matt, here's what the Bengals should draft in 2023. O-line. Look, they tried, they tried, right? They went and signed Lyle Collins. They signed Alex Kappa from Tampa. They drafted Jonah Williams. I mean, they have tried to remake that line. It's still not very good. Now, 3/5 of their starters haven't been playing the last 2 weeks. So they've kind of had a practice squad offensive line. And it showed. I mean, biggest moment of the game, Burrow gets the ball, 2 minutes, like 2:20, whatever it was. All right, here you go. Here's Burrow's chance to go be a hero. Go put this drive together. Get a couple of first downs. You're facing a third down. What happens? Your backup right tackle can't block Chris Jones, and you get sacked. I mean, y'all can blame the officials. I can say you gave up 5 sacks, 12 tackles for loss. That's pretty significant. Hunter Broadhead, what's up? Don Juan Jose, people don't understand the refs always suck. The Chiefs outplayed the Bengals last night. That's true. The refs do always suck. And it was a very evenly played game, I think. And people, I'm trying to find a way to say this that people don't misinterpret, but it's like, after any game, if someone is blaming refs, you lost. Like, Andy Reid didn't go to the podium last night talking about officiating. Only losers talk about refs. And I don't mean like you're a loser as a human. I just mean like when you lose the game. Losing teams, losing fans. It's a losing mentality to displace blame. To instead of taking ownership to say, we allowed 5 sacks, we allowed 12 tackles for loss, we allowed pressures all day on Burrow. Burrow threw 2 picks. You know, like, and oh, by the way, Patrick Mahomes gift wrapped you a touchdown when they looked like they were about to go take over the game when the ball just slipped out of his hands and he gives you the ball at the 40-yard line. Like, they had a touchdown taken off the board. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, look at all the things that transpired throughout the game and you just want to displace blame instead of taking ownership of the fact that you lost. Anyway. Spurge, what's good? Caleb, let's see, O-line is 30 times more important than receivers. Well, of course you have to have an offensive line. There's no doubt. But then you could also make the case, you look at someone like Jamar Chase, right? When you can throw 50-50 balls into double coverage and he comes down with it, I mean, there's great value in that too. So anyway. Weston Weaver, morning, Matt. Do you think the Super Bowl will be much of a game with Mahomes being injured? Well, I mean, Kansas City defense yesterday did a really good job. And Mahomes now gets 2 weeks to rest that ankle. If he had to go back out and play again this Sunday, that'd be a problem. But you give him 2 weeks to rest it, he'll be out there, man. You just shoot him up with some of the happy juice and let him roll, man. Cliff Nelson, good morning. Mason Welch of the Saints running it back with DA, hoping he will land us the first pick in the draft. I don't think that's the case. If they were tanking Mason, you would notice it by some of the offseason moves. But the problem is, as I've said often, is they don't have assets to trade. Because remember, when you're trading a player, you're not just trading a player, you're also trading that player's contract. And everybody's got bad contracts. Everybody with value on the field has bad contracts. Okay. Brady Smith, favorite part of last night was the Chiefs player that was begging for Mahomes to get the respect he deserves after the game. Like, the man's going to win the MVP. He's been they've hosted 5 straight AFC Championship games. Who doesn't respect Patrick Mahomes? So stupid. Wendell Norman, what's up? Dalton Barnett, good morning. Matt Plavidal. Oh, post office delivers Amazon packages for Amazon all week and only packages on Sunday. Got it, okay. Tim Gotro, good. See, you learn something new every day. Tim Gotro, what's going on? Lou, I keep waiting for the Eagles to slip up, but damn, they look good. They were vulnerable when Jalen Hurts was injured. And if he's back healthy, they are awesome. And I hate it because I hate the Eagles. Yesterday was a no-win situation for me because I hate the Niners and the Eagles. tweet that? I don't know if I did yet. When I was like a kid, obviously hated the Niners because they were in the NFC South. So the Saints had to play the Niners all the time, Montana and Young, and always lost. So I've always hated the 49ers because they were a division rival for many years. And then I've always hated the Eagles because the Eagles beat the Saints in the playoffs with Cunningham and that rally. It was the 92 season. So wild card game, 93. The Eagles scored 26 points in the fourth quarter to win 36-20. Blah. So that's why I hate the Eagles and always have. So I wouldn't have cared one iota what happened in the NFC Championship game, and I'm absolutely pulling for Kansas City. Bailey C., I don't get how Ole Miss doesn't have the resources to win, yet can raise north of $10 million in NIL. Wild, right? I mean, you're talking about, 100 years plus of history, though. And the other thing you got to keep in mind is small school, rural Mississippi, talent in Mississippi, but not overwhelming. And there's 2 in-state schools pulling the talent. Like if Ole Miss was the only school in Mississippi and every kid that was born there grew up wanting to play for Ole Miss, that's one thing. But that's not the case. And then you also get the neighbors with LSU, Auburn, Bama, plucking kids out of Mississippi too. So talent's part of it. Can you really build? And by the way, Ole Miss's facilities, they've upgraded their facilities tremendously. But I think most people just look at the stadium and see, a 50, 60,000 seat stadium, whatever it is, Vaught Hemingway. Well, they can't fill a 100,000 seat stadium. So why build it? Anyway. Zone 6 donations go to the collective, not the school, is how. With that Zone 6, that's irrelevant. I mean, it's just like TAF at LSU. I mean, people aren't donating to the school. They're donating to TAF, and TAF allocates that money for projects because it's how it's set up with a 501c3. The collective is just a vessel to move those dollars to the athlete so it doesn't go through the university because that's not legal. So it's just how it's structured. It's still, what he's saying is, you obviously have wealthy boosters who are willing to give money. Why haven't you been able to win before? That's what I think Bailey C. is saying. Brad David, other than the Saints, what teams do you think have the best uniforms? I don't think the Saints have the best uniforms. I think the Saints have some awful uniforms. Some combos are good, some are terrible. The Color Rush uniforms, I think, are gorgeous. Let's see. As much as I hate to say it, the Niners home uniforms are fantastic. I think the Chiefs are good. I like the Bears when they go on the road and they wear white jerseys and blue pants and then they flip it at home. I think that's pretty cool. Let's go with that for now. Ronnie Dugas, what's up? Miscellaneous Mel. They feel cheated. It sucks. They see what the Saints fans had to deal with. You see, Miscellaneous Mel, here's the other thing. Like, with respect to the Nola no call. Like, Saints fans don't like me saying this, but the Nola no call isn't why the Saints lost the game. Now, in that moment, if the flag comes out, do they advance? Yes, absolutely. And they beat the Patriots and win the Super Bowl. But you also got the ball to start overtime and breeze through an interception. And you got a turnover on the game's first possession and settled for a field goal. And then there was also the face mask that wasn't called, that Saints fans love to forget. But there was an obvious face mask on A.J. Klein, grabbed Jared Goff's face mask. They didn't throw the flag. Had they thrown the flag, the Rams would have had 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line with like 3 minutes to go in the game. And that would have been curtains. So, as sports fans, again, it's a losing mentality. Like, when you lose, you look to displace blame. Was the no call, horrendous? Absolutely. The worst no call in the history of the NFL because of what it meant in that moment. Absolutely. Terrible. But it's not why the Saints lost. The Saints had plenty of opportunities over 60 minutes to make enough plays to win the game. They did. Same thing with the Bengals yesterday. All right. YouTube, smash that like button if you would. Facebook, please like the page, share the post. We appreciate you for being there. Please, if you have not done so yet, as always, shout out to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing. Tons of rain yesterday. Phones were blowing up at Hudco. Restored Motions and ProCharge EV. Ryan Amanda Guidry, True Acts, what's good? Craig Dugas, Sky Judge. I'm for it, Craig. It's why I have been in favor of robots, of Sky Judge, of all that stuff, because you cannot have an expectation of human beings on the field watching these enormous people running at incredible speeds, doing amazingly athletic things, and expect them to never miss a call. But that's the expectation we have, because we watch the game and there's 50 cameras in every angle in HD and slow-mo, and we all see it, and we go, man, you missed the call. It's like, yeah, you missed the call, but I'm not surprised you missed the call. Freaking 60-year-old man standing 40 yards away from the play. You think he saw that bang-bang moment? Come on. Which is why we need robots and Sky Judge and all that stuff. And I'm for it. Let's see, Ryan, great game. It didn't go our way. OL was weak. Leaning for the Bengals, our way. That's the problem. It didn't go our way. There's too many people down here who have gotten emotional about the Bengals. And I don't care about the Bengals. I hate the Bengals. I had nothing in my soul for the Cincinnati Bengals. I have no emotional connection whatsoever to that organization. I do not care about the Cincinnati Bengals. So, whatever. I love Joe Burrow. If Joe Burrow wins, I will be happy for Joe Burrow and Jamar. But I do not care at all about the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm a New Orleans Saints fan. That's what I am. I'm a Saints fan. I'm emotional about the New Orleans Saints. I don't have enough space on my emotional plate to care about the Cincinnati Bengals in the AFC Championship game. Anyway. Teresa Michelle. Yeah, Teresa's right. Why throw a long pass on the interception when you need a 3 for a first down? It was 3rd and 3. Throw it to your tight end. Run the ball with Joe Mixon. Get a first down and move on. You know? Let's see. Bubba Smith, good morning. Craig Duga. I don't know your feelings on it, but Tony Romo is hard to listen to. He talks entirely too much. He's... Romo came out the gate so strong because he was like predicting plays and everything, and everybody could, everybody was wowed that he was calling what was going to happen. But I kind of agree with you a little bit there, Craig. Thomas Spencer, good morning. Yeah, man, Lady Tigers, the ladies basketball game tonight should be good. Looking forward to it. Brian Arsenault, they may have been the worst game the Bengals O-line played all year. Still a great season. Paul Losi, what's going on? Audio? What's going on? Let's see, I went to the LSU scrimmage Saturday. Finally have size on the team. That's true, Brian. I mean, the team looks very different. They have recruited size undeniably. Tyler Alexander, what's going on? LSU baseball is to start tonight. Who would you roll out for the starting 9? Skeens on the bump. You'd have Brady Neal catching, Trey Morgan at first. I think they'd start Merrifield at second. I think as the season goes along, I think talent will win out, and Gavin Guidry will win that job. Tommy White at third, Jordan Thompson at short, and then left to right in the outfield. I think they'd go. You go Pearson, Cruz, and probably Paxton Kling. But I'm gonna tell you, man, and maybe DH Joe Bear, but Joe Bear hit a homer off of Thatcher Hurd over the weekend, and guy hit 18 bombs last year. They're gonna have to find a way to get that dude ABs for sure. So, all right, let's see. Ronnie Dugas like Seattle uniforms. I don't know, too like XFL-ish, or Euro League, NFL Euro. Cliff, say Matt, the Cowboys have one of the best uniforms in the NFL. Honestly, Cliff, I don't love Dallas's uniforms. I mean, the star is iconic. I'm not denying that. I mean, everybody sees the star and knows what it is. I don't love Dallas's uniforms. I actually like it better when they go back to like the white helmet, and the the jerseys with the sleeve, with the patchless sleeve. I like those. Jesse Brown, morning Matt, hoping you and family are well. Brian Ashcraft, Moscona Island. What does that mean? Skeens is the Fridays. Ray Greer, yes, Skeens is. Jay Johnson even said it on Friday. Like, he's 1,000% the Friday night guy. I mean, Paul Skeens is. He should be the first college pitcher taken. He could be the first player taken in the draft. I mean, he sits upper 90s. He can touch 100. He throws 4 pitches. Yes. Ray Greer, and Chuck Sanchez. What's up, Chuck? Get it? Up, Chuck? Good morning, Matt. Bengals had a hard time getting some consistency. I'm with you. I'm a Burrow and Chase fan, Saints fan to the core. An occasional Steelers fan when required. Understood. All right, it's 8:02. I got to get going. Do you know when LSU's Nike contract runs through? I don't. Okay. Armstrong Grappler, look at that, finally giving Joe Bear some respect. What do you mean? Like, Joe Bear can't play in the outfield. That's the problem. He's got a big bat, but, like, what do you do with him? That's the thing, Armstrong. Like, what do you do with guys like Joe Bear, Beloso, Dugas, guys who've been veteran players on the team that are going to take a diminished role? Like, you can't put Braden Joe Bear as your everyday right fielder because he's a liability. And Paxton Kling, they're not going to keep that kid out of the lineup. So I think Joe Bear is going to DH when you want another left-handed bat in the lineup, and you'll probably see Dugas do that and Beloso do that, and so we're going to see. And you say everyone loves penciling in Kling when he hasn't faced a college pitcher. That's true, but I've also seen Braden Joe Bear face college pitching, and you have a feast or famine situation there, and a guy who is a total liability in the outfield. That's the problem, right? So, no. Hold on. All right, it's 8:03. I do not have time for this right now. I got to go. But we'll talk about Joe Bear. To be continued, we'll talk about Braden Joe Bear in the outfield. Dude, you got some type of emotional tie to that kid, and that's fine. That's totally fine. There's some connection that you have there, but he is a liability in the outfield, and we'll talk about that later. I got to go. Y'all have a great day. See you. Peace.